Welcome everyone to the English Beat. I'm your host, Sarah, and today's video is something very close to my heart. This isn't just a story. This is a truth that so many of us quietly carry inside. We live in a world full of noise, don't we? Everywhere we turn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, even in school or at work, someone is showing their best moments. Someone seems richer. Someone seems prettier. Someone has better grades, a cooler phone, a fitter body, or what looks like a perfect life. And without even realizing it, we start comparing. We compare our real, everyday life to their carefully chosen highlights. We compare our struggles to their smiles, our beginning to their middle or end. And slowly, very slowly, we start to forget our own value. We forget that we were never born to compete with others. We were born to become the fullest version of ourselves. Today, I want to share with you the story of a boy who almost lost himself to comparison. His name was Ethan. And if you've ever felt like you're not good enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, not successful enough, then this story is for you too. So please, stay with me until the very end. Because this story will touch your heart, and it will also help you improve your English naturally through real emotions and beautiful expressions. If you're ready to feel seen and to grow, both in confidence and in English, hit that subscribe button and let's begin. Part 1. The Boy Who Couldn't Stop Comparing. Ethan was 17. Second year of high school. He wasn't the top student. He wasn't the most popular. He wasn't the funniest or the best looking. He was just Ethan. Quiet. Average. There. But when he looked around, everyone else seemed to have something he didn't. There was Liam, the class topper who always scored perfect marks and made it look effortless. There was Chris, confident, athletic, always dressed in the latest sneakers, with a girlfriend who adored him. There was Mason, the one with thousands of followers, always at parties, taking selfies with famous people. And then there was Sophia, the girl Ethan secretly liked. But Sophia only noticed boys like Liam and Chris, not boys like Ethan. Every night, Ethan would lie in bed and think, I'm not enough. And every morning, he carried that thought like a heavy backpack to school. At first, it was just thoughts. But soon, those thoughts changed his actions. He stopped raising his hand in class. What's the point? Liam always gets it right first. He stopped hanging out with friends. What's the point? They all have someone special. I don't. He stopped taking care of himself. Why bother? I'll never look like Chris. Hours disappeared scrolling on social media, liking pictures of other people's happiness while quietly hating his own reflection. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't broken. He was just tired. Tired of feeling invisible. His parents didn't notice. He smiled at dinner, said, I'm fine, when they asked about school. But inside, a voice kept whispering, what if I just disappeared? Would anyone even care? Because when you compare yourself to everyone else, you start to believe your own life doesn't matter. Ethan's biggest mistake wasn't that others were doing well. It was that he believed their success meant he was failing. He didn't yet understand one simple truth. Life is not a race with one finish line. Everyone is walking a different path at a different pace toward a different destination. But no one had ever told him that. So day by day, he lost pieces of himself, his smile, his joy, his belief that he deserved love, success, or even attention. He didn't want to be Ethan anymore. He just wanted to be someone else. Part 2. The Breaking Point. Comparison doesn't shout. It whispers. It hides behind fake smiles and I'm okay. Ethan still went to school. Still did his homework. Still showed up. But inside, something had gone quiet. His light had dimmed. One ordinary Thursday, he forgot his lunch. So he sat alone on a bench behind the school building, a hidden spot no one usually went to. From there, he could hear Liam and Chris laughing, making reels, talking about parties and vacations. The perfect boys living their perfect lives. Ethan didn't hate them. He just felt hopeless. They're living, he thought. I'm just existing. That night, he couldn't eat. He told his mom he had a headache and went to his room. He sat in the dark, staring at the wall. Thoughts spun like a storm. I'll never be successful. I'm just average. That's all I'll ever be. No one really sees me. Then he remembered something from when he was little. At 8 years old, he had drawn a rocket ship and told his mom, "One day, I'm going to fly high." He had believed it then. But now, at 17, he didn't believe he could even leave the ground. At 11 p.m., Ethan quietly left the house. No plan. Just pain. He walked through empty streets under a sky full of stars, but he never looked up. He ended up at an old, broken bus stop. There was a dirty, cracked mirror hanging on the wall, probably left there years ago. For the first time in months, Ethan looked directly into his own eyes. He didn't see hope. He didn't see strength. He saw only failure, weakness, disappointment. And then, in a whisper that broke the silence, he said the words that hurt the most. I hate being me. He sat on the cold bench and cried, silent, tearful, broken crying. The kind that comes from carrying too much for too long. Then, a soft voice came from behind him. An old man with a gray beard and a small lantern stood there. He had seen Ethan from his window. Are you okay, son? He asked gently. Ethan wiped his face. Yeah, I'm fine. The same lie he always told. But the old man smiled kindly and said something Ethan would never forget. That mirror you're looking into? It's broken. So whatever you see in it, it isn't the full truth. Maybe you've been looking at yourself through the wrong glass. He paused, looked into Ethan's eyes, and continued. Don't believe everything your mind tells you when it's full of comparison. You were never meant to live their story. You were meant to write your own. And then he walked away. Just like that. No long lecture. Just wisdom. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. Those words kept echoing. Maybe you've been looking at yourself through the wrong glass. The glass of social media. The glass of perfect classmates. The glass of likes, trends, and timelines. All broken mirrors. For the first time, he wondered, what if I looked into my own mirror instead? Part 3. The Way Up Moment. The next morning, something small but powerful happened. Ethan woke up before his alarm. Usually, he dreaded mornings. Another day of feeling behind. But this morning felt quieter. The old man's words were still there. Wrong glass. On his way to school, Ethan tried something new. Just for one day, he decided not to scan everyone around him, looking for who was better. And in that small silence, he realized comparison had been stealing his energy. Not other people. Not his circumstances. Just the habit of measuring himself against them. In class that day, the teacher asked a question. Ethan knew the answer. Normally, he would stay silent. Liam always answered first, always sounded smarter. But this time, he remembered the broken mirror. And he thought, my voice doesn't have to be the best. It just has to be mine. Slowly, his hand went up. The class went quiet. He spoke, voice shaking a little, words not perfect, but honest. The teacher smiled. Good thinking, Ethan. Just 3 words. But they landed deeply. For the first time in a long time, Ethan felt seen. That evening, he opened a notebook and wrote 2 lists. Things I compare myself about: grades, looks, popularity, confidence. Things I can actually control: effort, learning, habits, honesty with myself, consistency. And suddenly, it became clear. He had been judging results without respecting the process. He was angry at himself for not being where others were, without realizing they had started earlier, worked longer, or had different support. That night, Ethan asked himself a new question. If no one was watching, who would I want to become? The answer came slowly, but it was his own. I want to be stronger, not for likes, but for self-respect. I want to learn not to win, but to grow. I want to build something real, even if no one claps. For the first time, his dreams weren't borrowed. They were his. He made a quiet promise. I will stop asking, why am I not like them? I will start asking, how can I be better than yesterday? It didn't change everything overnight, but it changed his direction. And that's where real change begins. Part 4. The Final Rise. Months passed. Ethan didn't become famous. He didn't top the class. He didn't suddenly look like a model or go viral. But something far more powerful happened. He became free. Liam still got perfect marks. Chris still had the cool sneakers. Sophia still laughed with someone else. But Ethan no longer felt small. He no longer felt late. He no longer felt invisible. Because he finally understood. You don't need to be the best version of someone else. You just need to become the most real version of you. He built quiet habits, waking up earlier, studying with focus, eating better, writing his thoughts, practicing skills no one saw. He stopped watching others like a fan and started building his own life like a creator. When jealousy came, and it still did sometimes, he asked, what can I learn from this? He turned envy into inspiration and inspiration into action. At the end of the school year, there was a talent show. Years ago, Ethan used to write songs but never shared them. What's the point? Others are better. But this time, he signed up. Not to win. Just to show up for himself. He wrote an original song, simple, honest, raw. On stage, his hands shook. His voice cracked at the start. Some people whispered. But he kept going. And by the end, the room was silent, not because he was perfect, but because he was real. When he finished, there was real applause. Respectful. Warm. He didn't win. Liam did. But Ethan smiled genuinely because now he understood. When someone else shines, it doesn't make your light dim. That night, in his notebook, he wrote one final line. I'm not here to compete. I'm here to become. No awards. No viral moment. Just peace. And peace, my friend, is the deepest kind of success. Maybe right now, you feel like Ethan did in the beginning. Maybe you compare your English to someone who speaks fluently. Your body to fitness influencers. Your progress to someone further along. But listen to me, Sarah, speaking straight to your heart. You are not behind. You are on your own beautiful path. The more you watch others, the less you live your own story. But the moment you stop comparing, you finally start hearing your own voice. And that voice is your power. You were never meant to be like them. You were meant to become the fullest, truest version of you. So walk your path not louder, not faster, just truer. Because the world doesn't need another copy. The world needs you. And while you're becoming that person, let's do it together here on the English Best, improving your English, step by step, day by day, with confidence and joy. If this story touched you, if it made you feel seen, if it reminded you of your own worth, then please like this video, leave a comment saying I am enough, and subscribe to the English Best. Because every time you come back, we'll keep growing in English, in confidence, and in self-love. Thank you for being here with me today. You were always enough. You just needed a little reminder. See you in the next video. This is Sarah from the English Best, signing off with love.